By now, you may have heard about the Cyclone Freddy and its impact on Malawi. It's been really devastating for communities in our country. We have already over 500,000 plus displaced people. We have over 500 plus people a day. When you go on the ground, and I've been there in the communities, you can see the pain on the faces of people, those who have survived. And they obviously they are dumbfounded. They are perplexed by the onslaught of this cyclone, Freddy. It's a cyclone like no other in terms of impacts. And that's just looking at the cyclones we have faced just last year and the years before. This one has been absolutely devastating. We still have lots of people that are unaccounted for. They're still missing, over 500. In the communities, they told me as I talked to these communities and visiting them to encourage them or offer them hope, and their stories were horrifying. And one of the community members said, this cyclone grieves us more than all the other cyclones because we were just about to harvest our crop. They were just 2 weeks away, as a matter of fact, from their harvest. This is the annual harvest. And Freddy came and took all of that away. In one community where I was, over 90 hectares of maize and other crops had just been washed away in a space of 7 days of Cyclone Freddy onslaught on the country. And they say that pains them the most because when Cyclone Anna hit, the maize was still small and they were looking forward with great hope that they have food for the next 12 months. So right now, what it means is that the communities in the southern region, those have lost their crops, for the next 12 months, they don't have food. They have lost the food they had just grown. And one of the community members also said, through the programs Eagles, the support and the programs we are having with Eagles, where they had just taught us amazing ways of using our local resources to improve their food security. But they have lost all of that. But what is encouraging is the people's hope still remains intact. They're saying if you still can support us with food, with food in the short term, yes, but they would like to grow their own food. They're looking for inputs in terms of seeds so that they can plant again. Given that March going into April is basically the beginning of what they call winter cropping season. So they need that kind of support to grow their own food again so that come October, November, December, they can have food of their own. And with the level of trauma they have experienced, Eagles provide psychosocial support as well. We've trained pastors and leaders to support affected communities. Interesting enough, we did that before Cyclone Anna, and that kind of support has made a massive difference in the communities. And we also are calling upon friends and partners to help these communities to rebuild their lives. Malawi needs to rebuild, needs to recover. And there is a sense in the people's spirits and minds and their hearts that they can rebuild. They want to draw lessons from what has happened. Eagles takes them through that process to reflect on what has happened. What are the key lessons that we can learn from this? And the big question I've been asking them and even government officials is how do we prepare for the times ahead? Because these hazards, these cyclones may come again. But how can we emerge out of this situation wiser, stronger, and more resilient than before? With your support, we can get there. In the short term, help us feed these communities, provide them food and other things they have lost. But in the longer term, we would like to continue working with these communities to build their resilience, and they are ready to do that. with your support.